Alright, so I've seen a lot of requests for my 2022 World Cup roster. It seems like the US is currently on an upswing in terms of talent production. We have players playing in Champions League at an unprecedented rate, and all signs point towards continued growth. So, theoretically, 2022 and beyond in 2026 should have high expectations. So with that being said, let's get into it. My starting goalkeeper is Zach Steffen. He recently made a few appearances for Manchester City in cup competition and seems to have improved his distribution, which is not really a surprise playing for Pep Guardiola. He will not play much other than the occasional cup match this season, but I think that especially for goalkeepers, playing time is less important to continued form than other positions. Some prominent examples of this would be Jasper Cillessen for the Netherlands and Sergio Romero for Argentina. My right back is Serginho Dest. On talent alone, this is an easy pick, but I had to think about if I wanted to play him at left back and maybe Reggie Cannon at right back. We have seen that Dest can do a job at left back in the past, playing there in the Champions League for Barcelona. I've talked before on this channel about the benefits of playing Dest on the left, but with Pulisic's recent success as a left winger who cuts inside, combined with Dest's tendency to cut inside as well, I worry for a situation where two of our most skilled players on the ball occupy the same spaces and get into each other's way, limiting their overall ceiling. So I've made the executive decision to play Dest in his natural right back position. At left back, I've gone with Anthony Robinson. Robinson recently made the move to Fulham and is the best option at a position with not too many clear candidates. To be clear, Robinson starting in the Premier League and showing decently well is no small feat. He was one of Wigan's best players in a tumultuous season last year and has separated himself from the USMNT left-back depth chart in my opinion. With that being said, I still have some reservations about his defending and passing. He defends extremely aggressively, which can be beneficial, but he far too often jumps into tackles with poor angles and gets burnt. Additionally, I think his passing ability needs improvement as well. But his combination of pace, dribbling, and crossing is a tantalizing offensive skill set that I think eventually gives him the nod at the position. At left center back is old man John Brooks. The elder statesman in this lineup, Brooks is the clear first choice center back for the USMNT. He can be a bit consistent and obviously he has his injury issues, but when he's on his game, he is far and away the US's best current center back. As for the right center back position, I was torn between Aaron Long and Chris Richards. In the end, I bet on the potential with Chris Richards. This pick was done with a fair bit of projection, but this year we have seen Richards already start to play for Bayern Munich, the best team in the world. It is realistic and even likely to say that Richards will be a consistent starting center back for a team in the top 5 leagues within 2 years. Richards reads the game extremely well, and he has the athleticism and passing ability to go along with it. Now for my midfield, I've chosen to play a more defensive double pivot. This is largely due to the attacking tendencies of the fullbacks, so additional cover may be needed. As the more defensive-minded player in this double pivot that I'm rocking, it's Tyler Adams. Paired alongside of him is Weston McKennie. McKennie just made what was a somewhat shocking move to Juventus this summer. Going from Schalke to Juventus is a step up to say the very least. The double pivot of McKennie and Adams provides the energy and the chaotic pressing the USMNT has been lacking for quite some time. Both also provide leadership and will stick up for their teammates, something that we have been sorely lacking for years. The offensive output from this double pivot remains to be seen, but with two very attacking fullbacks, a more conservative defensive pivot can be employed. At the central attacking midfield position, it is the soon-to-be 18-year-old wonder kid Gio Reyna. Reyna has been lighting it up for Dortmund this season, already with 7 goals and assists to his name in just 8 games at the time of recording. By 2022, I fully expect Reyna to be a pivotal contributor to this team, especially with just how good he already is. Operating fluidly through the middle, Reyna can easily interchange with Pulisic on the wing. He provides a smooth and dynamic option in midfield. You can give him the ball surrounded by defenders, and you can trust that he'll do something good with it. At left wing, it's the easiest selection in the squad, Christian Pulisic. Last year, in a season afflicted with injuries, questionable managerial decisions, as well as more national team suffering, Pulisic showed up in a big way, especially after the restart. Firmly establishing himself as one of the best left wingers in the world, it would take a seismic event to dethrone Pulisic from his favored left wing. Moving on to the right wing, probably the most polarizing player on my team, I've gone with Jordan Morris. He has taken his game to a completely new level this season. He provides the pace, power, and off-ball movement to play this position. I thought long and hard about some players like Timmy Weah and Julianas, but with their current club situations going seemingly nowhere or backwards, I worry for them for 2022. A lot can change in the next 2 years. I would like to see Morris challenge himself at a higher level of competition to firmly establish himself as an option, but for now, with the current information that we have, he is my man. Now on to the striker. The last year I've been thinking a lot about who could be a World Cup starting striker for the US men's national team. For the record, at the moment, I think Josie is our best striker. But I just cannot see us being able to rely on him as the starting striker, especially as he continues to age. So I've gone with Josh Sargent. In the Bundesliga this season, he does a lot of work defensively, as well as dropping deep to link up play. I'm expecting that this will help see significant gains in these facets of his game. And the final third though, it's still a bit of a mystery. He hasn't really had much of a chance to show what he is capable of playing for Werder Bremen. Obviously, this is one of the most important parts of playing as a lone striker, so I am in wait-and-see mode for that. But we have seen noticeable improvements in his hold-up play, and especially in Berhalter's system, I think that this can be a valuable tool which Sargent can use. So, as you can see, this is my final 11. Some players will emerge and some won't develop as expected. I expect to be wrong about this, but it's all for fun projecting 2 years out from now. With such a young team with a ceiling higher than we have seen in a very long time, I have extremely high hopes for the future.